Good day, everyone. This video is being made at the request of the ODL department. Dr. Palmer and Dr. Farber have asked me to provide some assistance based upon my last 5 years with UB. I've taught several courses using the Moodle interface, and I also took 8 years of online education myself at the bachelor's and master's levels. So what I've decided to assist with is basically, many of you may be kind of overwhelmed right now and confused about taking your course from a traditional face-to-face setting to an online setting, especially if you haven't had any experience in doing so. So there's some steps that you need to be taking during this time, in addition to taking the trainings that are being offered, I believe starting today and all through next week, that you could be doing to ease that transition for both you and for your students. The first thing you need to do is you need to decide on the platform that you're going to use to communicate with your students other than just the traditional email. You need to find something such as WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Google Hangouts, Viber, Zoom, some sort of a communication tool, Skype as well. There's so many of them. And you want to kind of lessen the learning curve. So I've found so far that in doing this exercise, I have 101 students across 3 different courses and 7 different sections. And so far, 64 of them have signed on to WhatsApp using their credentials that already existed, which is definitely an advantage because you don't have to spend time training or teaching or asking students to download something else. So far I only have 1 student that doesn't have WhatsApp, and it's because they don't have a cell phone. So that's going to be a little bit a situation that you're going to have to work out the best you can with the individual student. For me, I'm going to communicate to them using Facebook Messenger, and I'm also going to put the onus on them to try to make sure that if they're having problems to contact me. They won't benefit from the large group communication tool, WhatsApp, unless they get a cell phone. But you try to make your rules to benefit the masses, not just to deal with the individuals, right? So after you choose your tool, then it's going to be important to set it up and making sure that you're reaching out to your students using Xenograde Quick Tools and your reports to see the students' contact information using their email address, their student email address, their cell phone numbers by sending them texts and messages, calling them if they have a house phone, to make sure everyone gets in there. Like I mentioned before, I have 64 right now out of 101, so I'm getting to almost 100% rather quickly. And you can also, the students that do respond to you more quickly and get into that platform, you can utilize them to assist you because many of them have ways of contacting their peers quicker than you do. And also you can put appeals out using Facebook and so forth, different social media tools, Twitter, to try to reach your students to inform them of the importance of them getting into that platform as quickly as possible. So you want, once May 4th comes, you want all of the students to be able to be at a finger touch away from being able to send them a message. So you determine your tool, and then you inform your students and you try to get them in there as quickly as possible. If it's going to be WhatsApp, you obviously have to add them to your contacts first with their phone number, then you can add them as a WhatsApp contact. So you want to make sure you're doing that. Then the next thing is you should be at the same time in concert with your course coordinator, making sure that your course coordinator and you are working together in determining what is going to be the remaining assignments, assessments, and deliverables that students must do in order to achieve the course intended learning outcomes. You may find that not everything is needed. If you have an assessment that covers an assessment and assignment, or 2 different things that cover the same learning outcome, you may be able to get away with lessening those and increasing the point value. But again, nothing is done individually. We want consistency from campus to campus for all of the courses. So please work with your course coordinators in determining what needs to be done in order for your students to finish the course. Once you have that, now you can use your communication tool to communicate that to your students so they're fully aware of what they have remaining that has to be done before the end of the semester. Now, once those steps are set and students, you have that communication tool, you have your students in the group, and you're able to provide them with all of the information that they need to what they have to do, then you now have to look at teaching the remaining learning outcomes. So you can give students resources and tools, you can provide them links, you can create videos, you can do short lectures, you can use Google Hangouts using their email address, you can use WhatsApp to create a group chat. So you have the tools at your disposal. I would recommend trying to give students access to resources that they can download online, and then therefore they're using those tools, and then you're basically using like guided practice or guided discovery. This kind of minimizes the resources that and your time that you have to spend with each student, and it allows students to also learn to utilize the resources that you give them and you provide them. In many cases, students are still not savvy at being able to identify valid, reliable resources online. So many times students may have questions, and you can provide them with that link and that direction. Again, if you provide it to the masses in your, say, your WhatsApp or your group chat, you can do that. And also, if students have specific questions about maybe a practical part of a course, you can turn on your cell phone, record yourself doing the skill on your laptop, and then provide them with that as a resource as well. And also, don't be afraid to have students access their peers. If you have group chats, if other students respond to students' questions before you do, that's a good thing. You just want to make sure that you're checking the validity of the response and that it's actually correct information. So those are some of the things that you need to be doing here to get yourself from traditional face-to-face to online. And one of the most important things to note is that you're not in this alone. We're in this together, and we all have skills and we all have attributes that we can learn from each other. Just like in a classroom, we learn from our students and they learn from us. The same thing here goes at UB. We're one big family, and we're in this together to work together to make sure our students are getting a real education and that they're meeting the learning objectives and outcomes of the courses. So my cell phone is 610-3736, which is tied to my WhatsApp, and also my email is tdamey@ub.edu.bz. I'm here to support anyone and everyone who needs assistance. If you're having questions in setting things up, if you're having questions in trying to find resources, I will do my best to assist you. I have my classes, but I've been using Moodle now for the past over 5 years at UB, and so I feel comfortable with it. And my students have been able to access these things since we broke back in March, and many of my students have already accessed these items. So like I said, this may be a part of a course, or it may be added to individual courses for all of UB's lecturers, but either way, like I said, I'm here to assist. So thank you, and I wish you the best of luck in completing this semester. Have a great day.